So welcome everybody. This is Jerry Urbanowski with CIE Tours. Really happy to have you on the call today. We are here to showcase an amazing guided vacation. One of our best sellers, the Best of Ireland South. You'll see the itinerary there. And you are really lucky because it's not just me on the call today, but my colleague and one of my favorite people at CIE Tours, one of our business development managers. Anthony, would you like to say hi?
I would. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. As Jerry mentioned, this is an amazing tour. The slide before this was the map of the tour. That's your classic first-time tour to Ireland. And Jerry will go through the PowerPoint together. And at the end, any questions, we'll let you know exactly how everything operates with CIE Tours. Jerry, I look like a mafia there in that picture.
I know, that was in Scotland many years ago, but I just love it.
Many years ago, yeah.
We were both so young. And guys, kind of special. It's not just us on the line, but your amazing travel professional and advisor, Patty. Patty, would you like to say hi and talk a little bit about why you picked this tour?
Sure. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining. And if you're watching this later, thank you for registering. This tour is the one that I picked because of the amazing sights that we will see in Ireland. It's the Best of the South. So as Jerry will show you, it's all the highlights, right? It's all the things that I would want to see when going to Ireland. And the way it's spread out, we're not spending a ton of time on the bus. I had a choice between a couple of different itineraries, and this one just really struck me as the best format. And I chose CIE because they really are the industry leader in traveling to Ireland. You know, we all know there's other companies out there that do this, but I really did my research and felt like CIE would be the best company with their many years of experience. And I personally know other travel agents who have done group tours with them and have just raved about it. So that's a little bit about why I chose CIE and this particular itinerary.
Oh, that's great, Patty. We're very lucky to work with you. We love working with our travel advisors, our travel agent friends, and they're very good at picking the best of the best. So without further ado, let's talk about who we are as a company and what it's like to travel with us. So Anthony, our company has been around a long time, longer than me and you, since 1932,
Yes,
90 years. Do you want to talk about those points that do make us so special and different?
Yes. Well, since 1992, we're owned by the Irish government. So in Europe, we're known as the CIE Group. We own CIE Tours, which is in Morristown, New Jersey, which everything is being booked from. Well, our main office is in Dublin, and we have a few offices in London and England. We own CIE Tours. We own Bus Éireann, which is the daily bus transportation, and the Irish Rail. As you can see, we have a 95% based post-trip survey, which you will get on this tour when you're done. Maybe second day to the end of the tour, you'll get a survey. That's our driver guide in Scotland, obviously with the kilt on. And that's one of our beautiful coaches. And I think there's a better picture of the coach as we move. Yep. We are the largest tour operator in the world, selling Ireland, Scotland, and the rest of Britain. And then in the last 5 to 7 years, we have expanded our product to other destinations. As you can see, Italy, Spain, and next year, Spain and Portugal.
Yeah, I love these pictures. I felt like I was doing a GQ shoot. That's Brian Hanrahan there, one of our favorites, one of the best. Oh, I don't want to take the picture. And then he poses like that. Are you kidding me? These guys are the best. They're big old hams. And every driver guide, every tour director brings something different to each departure, which we love, whether it's singing or storytelling. No two tours are the same, which we love at CIE. But the biggest thing, the best thing is the attention and care they give to everybody. And they're able to do that, Anthony, because they're not selling on the road. Do you want to talk a little about that all-inclusive advantage?
Yes. Okay. As you can see here, it's an all-inclusive advantage. Everything's included. So when you have the itinerary there in front of you, or you're seeing it right now, this PowerPoint is based on your tour. Transportation, hotels, sightseeing, traditional entertainment, and most meals are included. So the only thing you're responsible for is the tip for the driver guides. Okay, we will either answer those questions for you, or they will come in your documents when you get your documents, anywhere from 3 to 4 to 5 weeks before you travel. No hidden charges. Okay, this is big. Many of our competition, if not all, while you're on your tour, they're trying to sell you something or upgrade you something. Let me have your credit card. We don't do any of that at CIE Tours. And excuse me, the best out of everything, we are #1 company in the industry with our documents. And there's a picture of a full set of documents that every traveler gets. The beautiful backpack, recyclable water bottle, a little poncho in the middle, your luggage rack for your large bag. Remember, on a scheduled motor coach tour, you're only allowed 1 large suitcase per person, your 2 little tags for your carry-on and your check, and then that little yellow box, as Jerry, we always like to, kid, we already saved you $40.
Yeah.
That's the adapter converter for all of your power. So everyone gets a full set of documents.
I love it. And then we have a picture here of the motor coach. I say the guides are the stars of the show. Well, if they're the stars, then this is the setting. Very comfortable Mercedes vehicles, right, Anthony?
Yes, these are Mercedes, and because we're CIE and we have Irish, we're in charge of the Irish bus transportation and the vacation section. Every 3 years, we get new motor coaches into the vacation. So these coaches are not even broken in, and we're already getting new ones. So as you can see on this coach, you have a back exit right there where that door is in the back. The main entrance is on the other side, going up where the driver is. 48 seats on this motor coach. We never put more than 44 on them. Beautiful high leather seats, air conditioned heater. The coach is on air compressor. Look at this, gorgeous, spotless every day. There's storage up on top to leave things if you like throughout the day. Of course, we always laugh. #1 question, is there a restroom on board? There is. You're not allowed to use it, but it is on board.
Well, yeah.
People start laughing.
Yeah.
So the days of people using the motor coach, 40 people, they're long gone. Okay. So what he would do now, he'd say, ladies, we're leaving in 15, restrooms over here. Gentlemen, restrooms over there. And then he knows where he's stopping as the tour travels. It is there. If, God forbid you do get sick or you need to use it, they're there. So basically, they're for emergency use. Besides that, he knows where he'll be stopping for your rest breaks.
Perfect. Wi-Fi on board. Those seats recline a tiny bit. Kneeling coach. Wi-Fi. Did I mention Wi-Fi on board? It is on board. And you're never on the vehicle company like an hour and a half at a time, right?
That's about it. 90 minutes would be a long stint.
Yeah. Perfect. And how do you know what's being done each day? Every night, or every day rather, there'll be like a little itinerary, whether it's printed or handwritten, with what to expect that day and the next day, what time breakfast is available, when we're leaving, all that good stuff. That will be given to you throughout the day. Your driver guide reminds you guys what's going on. And then, of course, you'll have that at your disposal, either in the restaurant of your hotel or by the lobby. So you always know what you're doing, how nice someone else is keeping things organized for you. So, Anthony, here are some of the highlights of this particular tour.
It is. These are all things that are on your tour. The bridges in Dublin, the Blarney Castle, of course, the famous stone. Hopefully you'll get up there and give it a good smooch. And then you have Dingle Peninsula. As we said last week in our presentation, there is a poem out there. I'll have to get this poem, Jerry, for next time, where the poet at the end says the most beautiful place he was ever at was at the Dingle Peninsula. And then, of course, ladies view, as you can see in the right-hand corner, all included and sightseeing that you will have on this tour. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, the free time where it makes the most sense. And if you're not sure what to do with your free time, that's where talking to Patty or your driver guide is going to be handy, right? If you want to know the best place to get fish and chips in Dublin, talk to your driver guide. He's there every week. He's going to know. He's going to want you to have a fabulous time. So definitely ask them if you have questions about particular places. We're being mindful of everybody's time, but it's important to talk about hotels briefly. Some really lovely properties, 4-star. So you'll start at the Talbot Hotel, Still Rogan. This is a very modern 4-star hotel. Just keep in mind, it's a 10 to 15-minute drive to the Dublin city center. Some people will go for a big walk. They'll enjoy that. Others will take advantage of taxis. Some people might not want to leave the hotel at all. Right, Anthony? All right. Moving along, we have the Scots Hotel in Killarney, another 2-night stay at a 4-star family-run property. This is in the heart of Killarney town. Killarney town is a great spot to meet locals, take in traditional Irish music at one of the many pubs, lots of shopping for every budget. And I love this. You are just a few steps away from Killarney National Park. This is a great place, and yes, you'll have some free time here. 2 nights at the inn at Dromoland. So this is on the property of the Dromoland Castle Hotel. Anthony, anything you want to add for this great property?
Well, yeah. First of all, I love, if they're watching, every night is 222. So we're not unpacking and packing, which is fabulous. That's a great tour as soon as it starts. This is on the grounds of the world famous 5-star Dromoland Castle. Matter of fact, when you pull into the property and you're getting to the inn at Dromoland, you actually go up by the castle on your left-hand side. If there is free time, I believe in the old days you were able to go over and get a tea if you'd like, or walk the grounds. I believe there's a 9-hole golf course also on the grounds. And this used to be the old Clarion, and it's all redone. As you can see, absolutely beautiful. And now it's called the Inn at Dromoland. So absolutely great property.
Yeah.
And another 2-night stay.
And I did check, Anthony. Guests that stay here will get special access and rates to Dromoland's Castle, the spa, which is I've enjoyed the spa there. Oh my! Ooh, look at me. Anyway, it was amazing. And you also can get access to the golf course. So if you have detailed questions about those things, check out their website, but also talk to Patty. And, anytime perhaps you want to skip the day's activities, you don't want to do touring, you'd rather golf that day, that is an option. As long as the tour is coming back to the hotel, you can do that. Just let Patty know, and she will let the driver guide know. That way they're not looking for you. If you decide to skip a meal or an attraction, you won't get compensated for that, of course. But again, I don't really encourage that. But sometimes that works for people if they want to get in around a golf or have a quiet afternoon. And lastly, this will end at the Grand Canal Hotel in Dublin, another 4-star property. This is in Dublin, Upper 4. So, I would say, I don't know, it's a few minutes walk from the Aviva Stadium, Trinity College, maybe half-hour walk to Epic Ireland and some of the other visitor attractions. So if any of the hotels are a big deal, I invite any of you to ChatGPT, ask for a summary of the hotel, or of course to do a good old-fashioned Google search. Beautiful property. All right, day 1. This is a fun day. You guys will arrive. You'll drop your things off at your hotel, and then you'll have the day to use your hop-on, hop-off pass. You use that little bus to get around the city, and you'll have a voucher to do 1 visit. You'll have a few choices. Perhaps you'll want to do Epic Ireland or visit Guinness. You got to get your Guinness, by the way. And it's never too early to have a Guinness when you're on vacation. And let's see, what else, Anthony? They can visit the GPO, Epic Ireland I mentioned, or Jameson Distillery. The rest of the day is free to explore the city.
Yes. Dublin City is very easy to get around. So either with the hop on, hop off, or if you're doing a taxi for yourself for some reason, or go downtown and stay later for dinner for free by. And this is the famous Temple Bar area. I mean, that's Ireland right there. Cobblestone streets, pubs, restaurants, a beautiful night. I mean, that is it in a nutshell.
If
and
I
this
could
area
make,
here, when I'll be
I was gonna say, if I made my own first day, this is exactly what I would do, because it's at my leisure. I can do what I like. I don't feel hurried. If I'm tired, I can go back to the hotel. No worries. Perfect.
Yeah, I love that area. And it's right there in Dublin City in the center.
Perfect. So yeah, everybody, you go to bed, you have a nice sleepy, you wake up, have breakfast. That's included on every day except the day of arrival. So this will be your first day with that big old breakfast. You'll have another morning free to explore Dublin, and then you'll join your group and at 2 p.m. leave for a panoramic tour of the city. You'll visit Teeling Distillery together as a group. This is a fantastic place to visit. Yes, you'll have an opportunity for a wee dram, a sample.
Yes.
I always tell people, not that to knock Guinness or Jameson, but I always encourage people to do a lot of their souvenir shopping in the smaller distilleries. It's a little cheaper, but it's also more fun to give that as a gift.
Well, and not only that, you'll get things at these smaller distilleries that you won't find anyplace else. And that's really nice. And I do like these smaller ones. There's other ones that are world famous, and of course, I'll be very busy. But these smaller ones, you get that little home taste. And again, you'll see some things and be able to buy some glasses or actually whiskey that you're not going to find anywhere else.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love when it's something people can't get back home on their own. So it makes us feel special. We'll off to Taylor's Three Rock for dinner and Irish entertainment, some music, storytelling, and dancing. And a beautiful shot there of Dublin at night, the Halfpenny Bridge. What a great first couple of days. The next day, we're going to leave Dublin City. Into the countryside you go, and you'll stop at a traditional farm, see those dogs at work. Your dog at home will never look the same. Homemade tea and scones. See the dogs work with their handler, the farmer. So much fun. And then off to Blarney Castle. This is a great day. You're never on that motor coach too long. Anthony, do you want to talk a little bit again about the castle? Like, do we have to do it? What else can we do here?
No, you do not have to do it. As you can see on both sides of the picture here, that is the lady you see right there in the picture is our BDM in Texas. And I always give you a little thing. It's unfortunately they lost this past week, but what a great game. Her son plays for the Chicago Bears. So it's been a hell of a trip for Carrie. The stone Jerry's talking about is up here. So you got to go up 102 circular steps to get up to the top where these people are.
Yeah.
You lay down on your back, grab the two rails on the side, and you kiss the stone. If you do not want to do that, because this is about a 90-minute stop. You're going to have lunch here. The world famous Bologna Woolen Mills shopping is here. Depending on the season, there could be bands playing. And if you're into gardens and walking, look at how beautiful. You can walk this for an hour. The gardens, the flowers, there's a little creek running through the property. Absolutely beautiful. And again, about a 90-minute stay when you get there.
Yeah, there is something for everybody here. Anthony's right. And it is a great spot to have a bite to eat. Although at the big Irish breakfast, you might not be hungry, but I've had a cup of soup, fabulous ice cream. Oh my God. Okay, onward we go after Blarney, and you're just going to drive a little bit up into Kerry, and we'll arrive in Killarney. You'll have some time to freshen up, and then dinner with your group at the hotel. Here's a shot of Killarney at night. Perfect, ideal. This is what we think of when we think of Ireland. I love this town.
This is downtown Killarney right there. The streets are going to be just like this. Pubs, bars, restaurants, shopping, little jugilis, as my Italian grandmother would say. Right here, fish and chips to die for.
Yeah.
Absolutely live music. Almost 90% of the time, there's live music playing somewhere. Authentic Irish music. Okay? Beautiful. Please get out after your meal, or if you're free, and go down to the main street in Killarney. That is the main street right there.
Oh, I love it. And you might not even have to leave your hotel. Sometimes the musicians will come to your bar or pub within the hotel. So much fun. But this would be the opportunity to feel like a local. Courtney's right there. Fabulous. Moving on to day 4. This is another great day. Make sure the phones and the cameras are charged up. So we're going to explore a bit of the Ring of Kerry and Killarney National Park with a horse-drawn, jaunting car ride. You'll see that here. They'll bring you past Ross Castle. You'll learn a little bit of the history there. And let's see. And then on to Kenmare. And again, beautiful views, but another opportunity for some shopping at Moriarty's. Anthony, do you want to talk about that for a minute?
I do. So you're going to have shopping throughout the tour up to this point. Okay. But if you're, I would highly suggest if you could possibly wait for this day, because there's good quality at the Bologna Woolen Mills and some other shops that you're going to see, but you're not going to get quality like this at Moriarty's. This is a family-owned operation, years in business, from the grandfather to the sons, now to the kids. Dennis Moriarty and his wife, who run it now, are very good friends with CIE. Now you know the kind of quality you must have to be in a CIE brochure and to be on a CIE tour. Okay, that tells it all it is. You can see how beautiful. They'll ship if you don't want to take it. I brought a beautiful jacket. They shipped it. They did the hemming for me with the sleeves. Magnificent place. Most of the times, Dennis, because of the connection with CIE, you might have an Irish coffee when you walk in. And usually, Dennis will give us something off, 10%, 5%, 15% for going in with the CIE group. So if you could wait, this is the place for quality.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, I love it because there is something for every price point here, which is great. And there's no pressure. Some people will walk in, walk around, that's it. Totally fine. But there is opportunity for the shoppers out there, and there is room on the motor coach. But Anthony, that's great to know that they'll ship things home to people.
Yep, they shipped mine home for me. They did all the alterations for me. And when I got it, it was a little note from Dennis. Thank you for buying. Here's everything you need. If you need anything else, please contact us.
That's great. And we'll continue on through the Gap of Dunlow, very scenic, beautiful area. And then you'll have an evening with traditional Irish entertainment, so music, some storytelling at Quill's Farmhouse. Look how cute that is.
Yeah, beautiful.
All right, day 5, Dingle Peninsula, one of my favorite places. So we get to do a little bit of both on this tour, a little bit of the Ring of Kerry and then Dingle Peninsula. Stunning views. So rugged coastline on one side and then that beautiful green farmland on the other. I'm so glad someone else is doing the driving. It's so beautiful. And Anthony, this is what a photo stop would look like with us, right?
You will do many, well, you'll do definitely a few Photoshops, because we're fortunate enough when people see the CIE tours, obviously, you know, we get to pull our coaches in a little better than most companies would be able to do. So this might have been not on the itinerary, but he may say in the guy, okay, guys, coming up, I'm going to pull the coach over. I want everybody out, picture, and get back on. We're not supposed to stop, but I don't want to go by here without you guys taking a picture. This is the little extra our driver guides do for our clients. Someplace I've had people run up on that beach, take their shoes off, even in the cold weather, and say, I just want to say I stepped in the ocean in Ireland. So again, you'll have many Photoshops throughout the tour.
I love it. I love it. And here's another shot. That's Sleigh Head, which is part of the Dingle Peninsula Drive. Again, you'll have some time to get some snaps. Then back to the town of Dingle. I love Dingle. Here's a shot there. It's painted so beautifully. Lots of shops, lots of restaurants. Murphy's Ice Cream, yum, yum. Gourmet ice cream, very delicious. A great place to have some free time and actually fish and chips. But anyways, back to your hotel. You can freshen up before a medieval style dinner, which again, what is that? Anthony, do you want to quickly go over what they can expect at their medieval style dinner?
Okay, you're in a 17th century castle. As you go in, there's a couple, you can have a little bit of mead. If you've never had it, easy on that. But if not, they're dressed in their 17th century outfits, and they're speaking like they're in the 17th century. So there's a little introduction when you first walk in, and then you have to go up to the main room, and you'll be eating everything while they're entertaining you. And everything you have to eat with your hands. So there'll be some red wine, white wine, there'll be soup, there'll be ribs, I think there's chicken, and they're entertaining, singing, dancing, speaking a little bit about the castle. There's restrooms right in the castle. It's just a beautiful traditional Irish evening out.
It is. It's so much fun. It's so different. This tour really gives them a lot of opportunity for culture, history, but in really fun ways. All right, guys, the next day, Cliffs of Moher. A lot of you have heard about that. You're probably very excited, and you should be. It's fabulous. Keep in mind, you are on the wild Atlantic Way. It is indeed wild. Weather can change very quickly here, so pack and dress in layers, no matter what time of year you're going. And I use this little picture of myself and my coworker Diego in September because 2 minutes before this and 10 minutes after it, it was pouring rain and very, very windy. But we got our pictures in and we got exactly what we were there for, the beautiful sights. Sorry about that, guys. I had a frog in my throat. Anyways, so that's the Cliffs of Moher. There is a visitor center there. You'll get plenty of time to enjoy. And then on through the Burn, which is a very interesting area in Galway. Lots of limestone, as you can see, so it does look very different than the rest of Ireland. We'll continue on to Galway, where you're going to meet with a local guide for a walking tour. This is a college city. It is fabulous. It's medieval.
There's a lot happening, yes, in Galway.
Yeah. Anthony, what's your favorite thing to do in Galway?
This is it right here. This is the pedestrian street. So there'll be no vehicles on this road. Maybe a small truck just doing supplies. No, obviously, you can see the people right on it. You start up where you meet the guide, and you end, if you walk all the way down, you end up at the Galway Bay. And again, it's just like this. Festive.
Yep.
Pubs, entertainment, food, everything. World famous fish and chips. We even found a 5-star Italian restaurant.
That's right.
There. Galway is bustling with people. Fantastic.
And you will have some free time there before you return to your hotel. Day 7, we keep on moving. Headed back towards Dublin, you'll stop in Kildare to visit the Irish National Stud. Gorgeous scenery. Absolutely beautiful.
Absolutely.
Stunning, no matter what time of year. Some of the queen, the former queen who just passed, some of her horses actually stayed here for a bit of their lives. So if it's good enough for her and her horses, it's good enough for us, right, Anthony?
It is. I was only, all the times I've been to Ireland, 40 times. I've only been here once on our sales meeting a few years ago. Absolutely spectacular. If you're a horse person, obviously amazing. The #1 horse in all of Europe was there when we were there. And the gardens, as you can see to the left, this is another 90 minutes to 60 minutes out. You get to walk it. It's easy going, slow pace, restrooms. If you need to get a drink, little restaurant. Absolutely gorgeous. It was a beautiful stop.
Well said. Just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And then you'll get back on the motor coach and back to Dublin you go. Now, it's not a real motor coach tour if you don't get your motor coach selfie. So that's me with some travel agent friends. I love how the first few rows behind me are all smiles, but one lady's sleeping in the back. She didn't know I was taking the picture.
Yes.
Anyways, back to Dublin you guys go, where the rest of the day's at leisure, as well as dinner. So you're on your own. But this is great. Anything you didn't get to do that first round, now you can go back and do and enjoy in Dublin. The next morning, you'll wake up, you'll have breakfast, big Irish, beautiful breakfast, and then back home you go. I love flying out of Dublin Airport, Anthony, because I can do pre-clearance. So when I land at JFK, I get my bag, I go home.
You're a
Doesn't get
domestic
better than
flight.
that.
Yep, you just get your luggage and you're out. That's a gorgeous picture, boy. Let me tell you, whoever took that, that says Ireland.
Yeah, right.
Cliffs and the scenery, that's Ireland.
Well, that is this amazing Best of Ireland South. We always like to end showing the map. Anthony and I get to talk about Ireland all day, every day. So we realize not everybody gets to do that. So that's why I bring that map up just one more time. So we're exploring Dublin.
I said when they were looking at it, that's your classic first-time tour to Ireland. Most people come into Dublin, they either go one way or another, but this is as south as you can get. Okay, going to Dingle, Killarney, the Cliffs, Dublin, that's your first time. 90% of the people would do that loop.
Yeah, it's great. And they get to do both, the Ring of Kerry a bit and Dingle, which is great.
Which is fabulous.
All right, so let's see if anybody has any questions. Now's the time to ask. If you are watching the recording, just keep in mind things are, it's subject to availability, of course.
I have some questions, of course, if nobody else is chiming in.
Sure.
Well, thank you both for that. That was awesome. I just wanted to mention a couple of things. The question had come up about the new ETA requirement going to the UK, but that we do not need going to the Republic of Ireland, correct?
Correct.
Okay. That is not necessary. So that's good. And then we talked the other night a little bit, and I thought it was very helpful about how much money, cash, should we bring? It's euros in Ireland. We need enough money for tips and maybe not so much for shopping, because that's probably best done on a credit card. How much money would you suggest I tell people to bring?
I would bring on this tour, I would start with 300 euro.
Okay. That's
Don't
more than
forget, you're not going to go wrong. You have to tip the driver guide.
Right,
Let's just round it out. It's 8 days per person per day. You're looking at almost $75, $80 right there. If you still have that on, you could pay him in euros. He'd rather euros. Of course, I've seen people pay him in US dollars, and I've seen people give him a combination, 50 euros and $50. So you can't go wrong. Any little mom and pop restaurant to get a coffee, Danish, they want their own money. They don't want credit cards. They like you to have money on you. It's a 7-day tour, $300. I think that's a great way to start, in my opinion.
Okay. And when they come into Dublin, is there a place in the airport where, if they didn't happen to change their money back in the US, is there a place in the airport that they can?
Banks. The banks are in the Dublin airport. I never go over with money. I always change at the airport.
Okay. And that is because you feel like you get better rates at the airport in Dublin?
You do get better rates. I'm lazy. I don't get to go out before I go. Most people, sometimes your banks will do it. Sometimes AAAs will do it. You can get a starter kit. And, but I personally do it when I'm at the Dublin airport. There's 1 or 2 banks there.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you have a chance in the airport for any reason, which you probably will have the time, I have definitely gone into like the equivalent of a 7-Eleven, so a Tesco or a Centra. They have ATM machines that are, and it's safe, it's, always be mindful, of course, but there are loads of banks in the different cities and towns that you'll be stopping in.
Okay.
You have more than one chance, basically, right? More than one chance.
Okay, good to know. And then I have a couple of ladies who are wondering how much walking will be involved. And if they had an issue with like long walks or stairs, is there opportunity for them to potentially do something else instead of doing, like obviously at the Blarney Castle, they don't have to walk up the 109 stairs because there's so much else to do right there, right?
Yeah, they could go take a slow stroll around the gardens. They can tell the driver guy, we're going to go in and just have a tea or a scone, or we're going to go grab a sandwich. We're going to sit in here. Or if it's gorgeous weather and you want to sit outside, you're not forced to do anything. Out of all the countries I've been to in Europe, Jerry and I just came back from Spain. One day we went 14,000 steps. Ireland is probably the least amount of walking out of all the European countries that I've been at.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about
I agree as far as the walk-in goes. I definitely agree.
Okay. How about at the sheepdog experience? Do they have to walk like, I'm imagining we're walking through the fields and.
No, it's like
no,
you're walking down the driveway.
We use a couple of different ones.
Yeah.
You're going to go in, the coach is going to pull you up. If you're going to have scones and everything, you just walk into the home. And then now, over the years, you'd have to do some walking. Some of them have actually put beautiful platforms in where you're going to go over and stand, and the dogs are going to do all the thing out in the field.
Okay, so they might have to walk a little bit, but
very little at the farm.
Correct. Okay,
yeah.
Little. Okay.
The more important thing at the farm is to make sure you have the right shoes. So if you step in anything, you can rinse them out.
Okay, waterproof shoes. Yes.
Correct.
Got it.
Don't wear Don't wear the high heels at the farm or the National Stud.
The fun.
Yeah. Okay. And the other question I have personally is, and maybe we should talk about this offline because maybe this is something I need to be in charge of, but at the Dromoland Castle, if somebody did want to get a spa treatment, let's say, how would that be arranged?
Jerry, she might be able to do that either herself online if she
Yep,
wants.
yep.
Or
The
who
best
is she
bet would
working with?
be,
What's that?
so first off, we don't know the exact time. You don't find that out until like we depart,
Yes.
basically. So I can't give you an exact time of when you arrive for that first night. So I would say
Okay.
if that's a must, then your best bet would be to do it on the first morning you wake up at Dromoland, the Inn at Dromoland. I would look into their spa menu ahead of time and try to make my appointment for that morning. Or afternoon, but just realize you may be missing out on that day's pouring. And then that would be
Yeah.
something you let your driver guide know, ahead of time. Also, find out what their cancellation policy is, because let's say
Yes.
you might change your mind. You might just fall in love and you don't want to miss a minute with your driver or friends or whatever. That can happen. So make sure you find out what their cancellation policy is. Or what if you don't feel too great? If you have a stuffy nose, you don't want to get a facial. Not fun. So
Well,
you find out about that. They have a great website. You can also give them a call using WhatsApp, or, regular phone call might have extra charges because they're international. But they are very accommodating. They take good care of CIE guests, that's for sure. But I would find out
okay.
a few weeks out.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you. That's all the questions I had.
I think we did cover everything. I'm just going to do a double check. Bear with me. We had a question about the tips for the driver, but Anthony did mention that will come to you as far as our suggestions in your final documents, which you guys will get about a month prior to departure. And again, it's our recommendation, but we're so confident that you will be so pleased with the TLC that you get. It's not weird. I know sometimes it's weird to talk about money. It's not weird because they're great at their job and our clients are so pleased. In fact, a lot of people that do repeat tours sometimes will try to request a driver guide, right, Anthony?
Oh, we get that all the time. I get that all the time, but that's out exactly what Jerry said. That's only a request. We can't guarantee anything. Dublin does all the scheduling of the drivers.
Yeah, they are the stars of the show. That's for sure. They make our job so easy, right, Anthony?
They really do.
Yeah. All right. It looks like we answered all the questions live. If you have any other questions, or if you're ready to book this tour, which I want to go on this tour, it's a great one, feel free to reach out to Patty. One more question about clothing. So it's really up to you guys, but take a look at your departure date and then do a Google search. But I would pack and dress in light layers, and I would make sure I have something, an overcoat that's light, but maybe waterproof or water resistant, right, Anthony?
Correct. And because you could have 4 seasons in one day, but anything if you're just warm in the morning and it's nicer in the afternoon, you can leave it on the coach. The coach is always locked if the driver is not with the coach. So no problem there. Small umbrella, no big umbrella you don't need. You're not going to Alaska. Jerry mentioned light rain jacket that could come off and on. And again, dress in layers, you'll be fine.
Oh, that's perfect. So, Anthony, thank you for joining us again tonight. It's always fun when we
Thank
get
you
to
guys.
present. Yeah, and Patty, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Jerry.
All right, everybody. So on behalf of CIE Tours, we hope to see you all on the road for this tour. Any questions, reach out to your amazing travel agent, Patty. And until next time, Slán, I'm going to play a little video for you now.